All right, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Make sure y'all can hear me. All right. So, welcome back. Welcome, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Welcome. Good morning. Good afternoon. We are doing 28 days of business breakthrough. We are on day 6. Y'all, we are on day 6 of 28 days of business breakthrough, 28 days of business strategy, and 28 Bible verses that you can use in alignment to catapult your business into now and not next. So I'm super excited. For those that don't know me, my name is Marquita Deshae Johnson. I am a business growth strategist, CEO of Mommy Making Millions, a platform where I use that focuses on mindhood, motherhood, and millions. I'm also a visionary speaker, you name it. It has anything to do with moms. I love it. I also help moms build profitable business models that help them through strategic planning, clarity, and focus. So I am extremely excited to get started today. We are on day 6 of the business breakthrough challenge. And on day 6, we're going to be identifying and overcoming your business challenges. I have a couple things in store for us today. So, number one, we're going to be identifying and overcoming your business challenges, just discussing some of the common challenges that we face as moms, as CEOs, balancing work, family responsibilities, but also giving you some strategic and tangible tips that you could also utilize inside of your business so that you can do things like balance work, have more time or time manage, as well as have those boundaries set so that you can actually see, the productivity in your life. Some of us deal with isolation and lack of support, fear of failure, and self-doubt, difficulty understanding how to scale our businesses. And so these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So good morning, good afternoon. I was a little bit tired live today. But I wanted to make sure we were recording on all platforms. So today we're going to be focusing on identifying, overcoming your business challenges. And the verse that we're going to be pulling from today is going to be James 1, verses 2 through 4. Count it all joy, my brothers, when we meet trials of various kinds, for you know that it is a testing of your faith, and faith produces steadfastness. Let your steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. Okay, lacking nothing. I really enjoyed finding that verse to go along with our day 6, because look, the truth is as CEOs and business owners and entrepreneurs, especially as moms, we're going to go through something. But how do we face the business challenges and identify the pivots and the shifts and the characteristics that is being built, or the character building that is being built as we continue to navigate this thing called entrepreneurship? So identifying and overcoming some of those business challenges is going to be very key in the success that we want to see. And so when I was actually looking over this, in terms of just all of the things that we've overcame, or just looking at the reference behind the book of James, we focus on the empire that James has and that he's building, and also understanding the preservation that needs to occur in order for us to be successful as CEOs and entrepreneurs. And so the overall message is basically saying that trials are going to be a part of the journey, your personal faith, your personal walk with God, as well as your business walk with God, as you are producing businesses that are built on purpose and faith driven. You cannot think that the things that are happening to you in your business is just not working for your good. Everything that you're doing, you should be looking at from a lens of opportunity, and also understanding how you can deepen, your trust with God, and what it means to really just be steadfast and resolve. Like, so many of us give up in the process of becoming, or in the process because it looks so hard, and it can be overwhelming a lot of times. I know each time I leveled up in business, I was overwhelmed with a lot of areas of my life. But how do we create strategies or tactics, or how do we find the resources, or know the type of resources that we need, so that we can continue to overcome those business challenges? So when we focusing on identifying that it is the quality of being formed and also being firm in some of those seasons of our business each step of the way. Like every time I noticed it was time for me to level up in business, there was something that I was able to learn. There was a growth opportunity. I think on day 3, we focused on the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And when we focus on the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, we have to be able to identify, welcome, and embrace change as it is a part of the learning curve. Okay. Whether you're growing, expanding your team, whether you have a new product or service, whether you are in a season where you are expanding or pivoting, wherever you are in your business, you need to be identifying that the change or the challenge that you're facing in this season is a part of the journey. Okay. So, being firm and being persistent in determining the efforts that you need to utilize to overcome some of the goals is going to seem very difficult when you're focusing on building out your business. Okay. So, what we see in James 1 verses 2 through 4 is the ability to remain faithful and to commit to God's plan and to our purpose, even in the face of trials and even in the face of tribulations and even in the face of looking like, it's a hardship, on understanding the obstacles that we face. The goal here is not for us to give up. And so many times we give up in the season of becoming because we see the tribulations, we see the trials. But can you stay committed in the process? I think that's where a lot of the promises that we are seeking actually allow us to embrace the challenges and also get the reward for what we are preparing for. And so a lot of us are in a season where it doesn't look like what we've been shown, right? It doesn't look like where we are currently doesn't look like the visions that we've seen. Or some of us, it may even feel like where the visions that we've seen, we don't know how things are going to get done. We don't understand, the process of what pathway we need to take. But focusing on a faith committed journey is going to allow us to stay focused in the season of feeling like you really want to give up, right? Not my will, his will, right? What is it that I need? So that's what we're going to be kind of just focusing on today. And so we're going to be reflecting on some of those daily tasks and responsibilities, even just being as a mom, providing strategies for just overcoming things like identifying responsibilities and understanding what the obstacles even look like. Some of us don't recognize the obstacles that come inside of our businesses or inside of our families. And so a lot of times what happens is we're continuously to walk over problems until they have like this avalanche effect on us, and we have these mental breakdowns or these business breakdowns. And so you need to be able to reflect on daily tasks and responsibilities and considering and identifying what obstacles even look like and understanding the difficulties that you're encountering in the season of the life that you're in. Okay. So you have to be able to first understand what the setback is or what the obstacle is. I know for me, very early on, one of the obstacles that I faced was time management. I didn't feel like I had the tools. I did not feel like I had the structure that I needed as a mom to try to understand how to balance out business and also running a family. And so you have to be able to identify in your business what's really stopping you from being successful, what's really stopping you from hitting your goals inside of your business or making you be the highest version of yourself, or what's stopping you from getting to that next level in this season of your life. You have to be able to identify where you are in the season of your life inside of your business and inside of your personal life. Okay. So reflecting on daily tasks and responsibilities, understanding what your goal is and understanding, what your key performance indicators or even your metrics are. And so one of the things that I had to do very on was learn how to properly time manage. Time management was not an easy thing for me. In fact, time management was something that I very early on struggled with. But understanding things like what structure you need to have as a CEO is going to be vital to the success that you want to see. Okay. If you're not hitting your goals, you need to be assessing some of the areas to identify why. Like, what is the why? What's the why factor to the success? What's the why factor to the failure that you're currently seeing? Focusing on things like seeking feedback from others, especially like your customers, your colleagues, your friends, and families. When we're focusing on identifying and overcoming business challenges, if you don't have a team, one of the things that you can do as a CEO is ask the people close or nearest you, what are some of your strong suits? What are some of the qualities that you have? or just get their opinion. If you're a part of a mentor circle or a group or a community, these are things or questions that you can continue to ask internally to your external community or internal community, so that you can get the proper feedback, so that you can then identify what kind of support that you need, and so how you can overcome the challenge. Maybe you don't understand how you can overcome the challenge, but maybe you're around some people that can help you to identify ways in which you can push forward and push through some of the things that you're going through. So seeking feedback from others, such as customers, colleagues, friends, or family, is going to be important. And then also conducting market research to understand some of your industry needs, as well as your competitors, is also important as you continue to focus on setting goals and objectives for your business, and how you can evaluate the process and the progress towards the success in you achieving your goals. So if you don't have a goal, you can't identify the obstacle that's being presented to you. And the reason for that is because if you don't understand the goal, you don't understand the finish line. If you don't understand the goal, you can't see the end result. If you don't understand the goal, you don't have anything that you're measuring your success up against. And so you have to have a goal. You have to understand what the end result is. And so as you continue to focus on building out strategies to help you overcome those goals, it's going to be based off of the goals that you have set forth, not just, I'm having a problem in my business and I just want to be able to I want to give up right now, because you have a goal set there. Okay. So it's extremely important that you identify the goal, but also identify the challenges. So some things that you can do also inside of your business is understand that you have to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and development, instead of seeing the obstacles as setbacks. Okay. The setback sometimes is a setup, depending on how you look at it. Right. Recognizing that challenges help you build resilience and preservation and character. Right? So, which are resilience, preservation, and character, are all important traits of success. If you can learn how to build your resilience, if you can learn how to character build, and if you can learn how to build preservation in your process, these are strong characteristic traits that you will then have built and learn to create in the areas of business development and business growth and business success. Okay. So you want to be able to stay focused on your vision and your purpose, and don't let challenges distract you or even discourage you from your goal. That's why the goal is so important. That's why you understanding what the goal is so important, because you have to know in between where you are and where you're going, in between this space, is going to be opportunity for growth. It's going to be obstacles. It's going to be reroutes. It's going to be hurdles and stepping stones. It's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to go through this process. Look at this gap where you are and your goal. There's a gap there. It's not anything that's instant. It's not anything that you go from one state of being to the next state of being. It's a process in which you must go through. And in that process, like we talked about, is then going to build that resilience, preservation, and character, in which then allows you to be successful. This is why a lot of people have a tough time in success, because they can't get through this gap. They can't get through this process. They can't get through the stepping stones. They can't get through the hurdles. They can't allow themselves to overcome some of the obstacles that are standing in their way. But how bad do you want it? It's just a gap. So you have to be able to create a pathway for your success. Okay, so staying focused on your vision and in purpose, and do not allow challenges and distractions to actually discourage you from getting here. Keep going in this process. Okay, one of the ways you can continue to actually build your resilience, or one of the ways that you can overcome some of the setbacks that you may be facing inside of your business, is seeking support and guidance from mentors, coaches, communities, networks, other business owners who have also faced similar challenges. That can really offer you insight. Right. This is why I love talking to my moms, especially about things like time management, business strategy, and profit planning, because it's a muscle that we've learned to build. Okay. Y'all following me over here in the Zoom link? Okay, good. Instagram, y'all following? So you want to make sure that you're seeking support. And seeking support means, this is why I love like coaching, like, and having mentors and having communities and having support systems and having networks, which we talked about yesterday, is because you don't have to feel alone in the challenges that you're facing, right? Hey, this is an area where I'm struggling in. What is your thought process behind this? And when you've built a network and you've built a relationship and you've built community, people don't mind giving you honest feedback that also see your vision and your value and understand the commitment to your journey that you're trying to embark on. Especially people who've already been there, especially people who are also looking, who've already been there, and people who created shortcuts to the success. When somebody's giving you their templates, or somebody's giving you strategies, or somebody's giving you feedback, these are shortcuts that you're able to use from people who've already done it. So you're not having to go to the drawing board and reinvent the wheel each time you are trying to hit success. Can y'all close that door, please? All right. So next we want to focus on the ability to keep learning and improving even when things do not go according to the plan. And that's a really tough place to be in. Can you continue to learn and go the journey or the distance even when things are not going to plan? Can you use challenges as opportunities to reflect, assess, and then adjust the strategy? This is why business strategy management and pivoting is super important to the success that you're trying to see. Stay flexible, allow yourself to grow through what you're going through. So even when you're improving, there's always room for you to continue to grow. You never want to feel like you've mastered anything in life. If you're a master at anything, you may be really good at it, but you also want to always look at things from an innovative lens and perspective to see how you're able to continue to remain sustainable, how you can find ways to continuously process and improve. I remember when I used to be in corporate on our those yearly annuals, I never received, my boss never believed in giving us fives across the board. Fives mean you were really good and you couldn't perfect anything. Didn't matter how great you were. There's always room for some adjusting. There's always room for something for you to learn and for you to perfect. There's always something in your process, either if it's from how you enroll clients, from how you offboard clients. It's always something for you to learn and to perfect. Maybe your sales process, maybe your profit planning, maybe your revenue model. There's always something for you to perfect. This is why the feedback and the surveys are important. Because if you're only listening to your voice, you're not going to be able to grow because you're not listening to the feedback of others, especially if you're building a consumer-centric focus, which means your business at the heart of what you offer, at the heart of what you serve, is based around your clients. So if you're always servicing a problem and if you're always perfecting the problem to be solved, you'll always have sustainability in your business. Okay, so keep learning, keep improving, even when things do not go according to the plan. So this is what I like about this. Keep learning, keep growing, even when things do not go according to the plan, because this is that process of you going through this phase. Man, I'm failing, Marquita. My business sucks. I'm following the strategy that we laid out. I'm executing on the goals that we laid out, and I'm still failing. You don't get the consistent results, or you don't really get the real results by you quitting on the way to success. You stopped here, but there was still so much to learn in this gap. Right? Look at all that room for growth. So now when it's time for you to go back to the drawing board, you don't have an honest assessment of what you can do to perfect. I like to call this our PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act. If you're working the plan, great. If you're doing the plan, great. If you're checking what went wrong, but you stopped before you finished it, you don't have a real analysis of all of the things you could perfect. So what's going to happen is you're going to create the process, or you're going to go back through the steps. Maybe you launched your offer or your service this time, but you didn't understand that even after you launched the offer or you launched the product, you launched the service, there was some growing that you still needed to do. So what's going to happen is you may have perfected this part of the process, But because you didn't get to the next phase in which you completed, which means improving even when things don't go according to plan. So when things were getting rocky, you quit. That means every time stuff in life gets rocky, you quit. Which means that's going to be a consistent pattern. That's going to be a consistent behavior. That's a consistent characteristic that you have not learned to master. You cannot give up in the process. Endurance, that's where endurance is built. You are CEOs. How do you problem solve? Being a problem solver is a part of your resume. It's a part of your duties. And if you're not good at problem solving, then you need to have somebody on your team that's good at problem solving, because you're going to always face oppositions and obstacles inside of your business, even with your staff, even within yourself, even with your clients. Okay, so keep learning, keep improving, even when things don't go according to plan, and use the challenges as opportunity to reflect, assess, and adjust the strategy. If you stop your process before you have a true analysis or assessment of the situation, you cannot adjust your strategy properly, right? Most people see that they have a strategy, great, but they did not execute all the way. 80% of your success comes from the execution of what you're doing. It's not so much that you planned it. It's great that you planned it. You have this really great plan, but did you execute it accordingly? Where can you fine tune? Where can you tweak it? Where can you perfect it? Those are the real questions, and those are the things that are going to make you successful. I was looking at when I first got started as a coach, there was so much to learn. It was intimidating. Don't be intimidated by your process, right? Don't be intimidated by how much you have to learn. You might be in year 1 of your business. Don't compare your year 1 to somebody else's year 10. You're just getting started. The people that are in year 10 or the people that are in year 4, 5, and 6, they also had to go through a process. They're better because they did not give up. They persevered, and they were able to assess, reflect, and adjust the strategy along the way. They were listening to the feedback. They welcomed change. They remained flexible. They kept learning and kept improving. If you never understand the ability to keep learning and keep improving, then you're going to miss the mark on the success that you're trying to see. Okay. So we want to also make sure that, let me know if y'all follow me. We want to also make sure that we are doing things like reframing our mind from just focusing on the challenges. But remember, we talked about that. Don't look at everything from a problematic mindset or a problematic perspective, but look at everything from a solution-based lens. And when you're looking at things from a solution-based lens, you're looking at the opportunity. You're looking at the optimistic perspective of, yeah, things could be going very wrong, but is there any opportunity, or what should I be doing to pivot? And it's not always just give up. It could be, how can I refine my messaging? It could be, how could I create better products or services for my clients? It could be, who do I need? It could be some areas that are bleeding out in your business that you need to put a little bit more, what I like to call, a prime focus on, so that you can see the success. Prime focus and prime success goes hand in hand. Because where energy goes, or time goes and energy goes, results also go. Okay. So refrain from just forming your mind to think that you're just dealing with challenges, and condition your mind to focus on the opportunities for growth and development. You should always be learning. What are you reading? Right? There are a lot of books that I read very early on as a coach, consultant, that I learned a lot. Any area that I felt like I was lacking. And there's so many things that you can learn. Like, even if you don't feel like you can pay for billion-dollar coaches, get you a $20 book. Guess what? The billion-dollar coaches are writing some of these $20 books. There's real good feedback and advice and information at your exposure. So you should be learning at every step of the way. You should always have something new that you're pouring back into yourself. Think about it. If you're in corporate, they had training and development days. They had continuing education days. So why do you get to be a CEO when you just decide that you want to stop your growth and development just because you're making money? Or maybe you're not making money. Right? What do you do in the process of where you are to where you're trying to go? Okay? Then you want to make sure you're building your resilience. But one way to build your resilience in that preservation and character is to also focus on the success in business in your daily life. Building resilience isn't focused on you giving up. Building resilience is also about preserving the success that you want to see. It's also about the self-care. Sometimes it's just pouring back into you. Have you ever felt like a CEO, like you just work, like Rihanna say, work? You're not a robot. You're a mom. You're not a robot. You're a CEO. You're not artificially intelligent. You're a human. You have feelings. You have needs. You have wants. You need rest. And so if you don't have a structured process, if you don't understand the value of building out the resilience or even preserving who you are, then what's going to happen is you're going to continue to put yourself on this treadmill where you're just trying to get results, but you're not pouring back into yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Rest. Somebody had on there, rest is a new revenue. You need rest. I don't play about my bedtime. I will go to sleep. I will go to sleep on you. Me and Legend, we go to sleep on you because I need rest. Because my brain is fresh in the morning. Anybody else's brain fresh in the morning? Not just at night. I can't think about, don't ask me nothing at night. Don't ask me nothing. Nothing gets done at night except the shower and the bed. Because at night, at this point, I'm no longer fresh. I remember when I was in high school, our math instructor told us the best time to do math or to do our homework was in the morning. He said he didn't believe in giving homework during the week because when the students go home, our brain is already full. We're not freshly thinking. So he used to give us homework during the first period and he would give us time to do the homework. And I thought that was just so weird. But if you can focus on how fresh your brain is in the morning, I have so many $1 million thoughts in the morning. It's just kind of like I'm lucrative or I'm rich on ideas and clarity. When I'm overwhelmed, I see nothing. When you don't have clarity and if you don't have insight, if you don't have the mindset that is refreshed or relaxed, if you're just working so hard and you're not giving yourself time to relax, then what's going to happen is you're going to be overwhelmed and now you're burned out. So now the character part that you need to be building is feeling like you want to really give up because you're feeling overwhelmed. Okay. Next thing is you want to focus on staying focused on your vision and your purpose. Stay focused on your vision and your purpose. That's why I like that message from James 1 verses 2 and 4. Count all your joys when we meet trials of various kind, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect. Steadfastness refers to the ability to remain faithful and committed to the plan, even when you're faced with hardships, even when you have to overcome some of the obstacles, even when you're trying to personal development and professional development. So you have to stay steadfast in the process. Okay. Stay committed to the business that you have. Stay committed to the visions that you have. So you have to understand it is important for you to stay focused on your vision. You have to have a vision. See the vision. That goal that we were talking about. You're here. Your goal is here. When things start happening, you're focused on this. Distractions are going to come all the time. I was listening to TD Jakes today. He was talking about being distracted. Distractions are there, but can you stay focused on your promise? Okay. I love James 1 verses 2 through 4. Testing of your faith produces steadfastness. There's so many things that have you ever went through anything in life and you continue to persevere and you got to the end and you was just like, wow, like I'm just so glad to be here. Like this was a real breakthrough for me. I could have given up. Happy Sunday. I could have given up. I wanted to give up. I'm glad I didn't give up. Right? Anybody glad that they just didn't give up? I'm glad I went to the drawing board and thought of something else I could do, or looked at this from another level. Okay. So seek support and guidance from mentors. We talked about that. Coaches and other business owners. You need to hear it. Okay. If you are struggling, you need to hear it. You need to know that one of the ladies that I'm cool with was telling me, because I always check in on my people and be a good steward as well to the people in the community. Don't just take. Check on other business owners that you have relationships with. If you did not see the video of building your network, you need to go and watch it. Because it's not just about what you know and what you need from people. It's also about the value that you're able to add into other people's lives. Okay. Being an entrepreneur isn't easy. We don't say it's easy, but then if you're a mom on top of that, is even challenging. My entire platform was built on how do I continue to manage balancing entrepreneurship and being a mom. How do I go forth and try to get these millions and still try to feel like I have the freedom, time, flexibility to do the things that I love? How do I give myself the opportunity? How do I create the opportunity for others? That's why that vision is so important. Because when you understand the vision and the purpose, even when you're facing challenge, the vision is going to outweigh and the purpose is going to outweigh what you're looking at, because this too shall pass. Trouble don't last always, right? That's what they say. Trouble don't last always. Okay. So seek support and guidance from mentors, coaches, and other business owners. And then we talked about keep learning, keep growing, keep improving. Even when things don't go according to plan, when things start happening in your businesses, when things start happening within your family, you have to kind of begin to learn to expect these things to occur. But remember, we talked about that business emergency evacuation route, or the business 911, or having those power players on your team that can help you push through. So some things that you can do, if you're faced with challenges, or if you're faced with feeling like, if you're feeling like you're having trouble identifying how you can overcome some of those challenges, one of the things that you want to do is outsource non-core tasks to free up time. What is non-core tasks? Meaning tasks that you can give to someone else, even if it's a virtual assistant, even if it's, like it can be in your home and on your business. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure that you're outsourcing tasks to free up time for more important tasks. Right? Maybe you want to give a task to a virtual assistant so you can focus on more revenue generating activities. Why more revenue generating activities? So that you have income that's coming in, so that you can then continue to pay, so that you can continue to play. Meaning, most of the moms that I deal with, a lot of problems or a lot of the strains that we focus on, or we have, or we come up against, is the ability to be financially challenged. Which means you can't do things like bringing people like the cleaners. You can't do things to bring in a cook. I can't wait till I hire my first cook. My husband does an amazing job at cooking, but I can't wait till I got somebody that just can cook all the time. Why? I want to be doing something else. And then once I get to do something else, then I would actually like to bake. Did you know that? Ma, did you know that? I want to actually bake. Mm-hmm. I want to learn. I want to bake more. I don't have time. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I like baking. You would never know it. I want to play with some pastries. But right now it's grind mode. Okay, so the more we make, the more we can continue to bring on people, the more we can expand, the more we can grow. Okay, then you should be doing this: implementing time management techniques that produces and increases your productivity. Have a flow. In Mom to Millionaire, we focus on cycles, rhythms, routines. That's going to produce the success that you want to see. Do you have cycles, rhythms, routines, schedules? Or are you just all over the place? This is why you see things that people have, like content schedules. Your business, you shouldn't be just launching things just to say, I want to make money this year. You should already know how you're generating revenue. You should already know when you're generating revenue. You should already know when you're launching. You should already have these things. Why? Because you're planning for it. And if you don't have a plan, then you should be in one of my Plan to Profit quarterly meetings. Okay. Setting clear boundaries is another thing. Prioritizing tasks to avoid burnout. What's a priority? This definitely still goes back to having strategic plans or plans in place. If you're overcoming challenges, one of the ways for you to be able to overcome some of the challenges or identify some of these business challenges is by having clear boundaries. When is the due date? Who's working on it? How much can I take on? What is my capacity? Some of us are taking on too many challenges or taking on too many tasks, and we don't have the capacity to support what we're doing. Okay? This is why you need to understand some of these things. And we'll be continuing to go a little bit over this a little bit further inside of our Mom to Millionaire, Mommy Making Millions Present Prosperity Brunch. But for right now, I'm giving you 28 days of business strategy that you can use, aligned with 28 biblical principles you can use inside of your business to catapult your business into now, not next. And when we get to the Mommy Making Millions Pearls and Prosperity Brunch, guess what? You'll be on the 28th day. So you have to come to make sure that you're getting all of it, not just some of it. Okay. All right. So set clear boundaries, prioritize tasks to avoid burnout, implement time management techniques. Time management technique could be, like we talked about, creating system cycles, routines, and schedules. If you're inside of Mom to Millionaire, you know we definitely break that down. Practicing self-care. We talked about practicing self-care and time for personal development to boost not only confidence, but also to eliminate and overcome self-doubt. You got to pour back into you. Okay. I was watching putting a load of laundry on today, and one of my books that I was currently reading this quarter was Leadership Shift. Don't ask me how the book got on the side of the washing machine. And I was thinking to myself the other day, I was saying, where is my book? Because I knew that I read a couple of things. So, I have like audibles, I have my devotional journals. I'm always reading, I'm always pouring back. So on days and times where I feel like, man, this is a lot, I always got something to pour back into me, right? Today, Sunday, I don't really do anything. Today is going to be pour back into me day. I got 2 modules that I need to look at. What days are you pouring back into yourself? Okay. We're focusing on practicing self-care and taking time for personal development. Know what that personal development needs to look like. Okay. Sharpening your tools consistently should be a thing. And then finally, developing that growth mindset that we talked about. If you missed our training on developing a profitable mindset, I think that's what it was called. I'm gonna get y'all the response on what it was called. I just made something up. The importance of mindset in business success, where we talked about Proverbs 23:7, for a man thinketh, so is he. What are you thinking? What are the thoughts that you're thinking about your business? Remember, you don't always have positive thoughts, especially if you're not taking the time to pour back into you. So we created that fixed mindset versus the growth mindset, but you'll never have the growth mindset if you don't have the tools of networking, tools of getting in the room, tools of having mentors, tools of having resources. So developing a growth mindset and seeking out resources and mentorship to help scale up your business. Scale up your business, which means when you're scaling, you're doing something at an accelerated pace. When you're scaling, you're figuring out how to duplicate the process even quicker so that there is growth at an accelerated pace. Mentorships, networks, these things are important. We don't just say these things. This is a part of success. When we talked about that, we talked about the ability for you to be able to build that characteristic building or that character building, and for you to have things like embracing challenges, resilience, and preservation. When you're in the room with like-minded people, when you're connected to like-minded people, you're able to appreciate and to borrow from their belief system, so that even when you don't see a way possible, the mindset of what you're thinking about the success that you want to have changes. Do not feel like what it is that you're doing is so far-fetched that you can't achieve it. You just need the strategy. You just need the plan. You just need the right resources. You just need the right networks, right? 28 days of business breakthrough. I want y'all to break through some of the disbelief or the limiting belief that you've been experiencing for your businesses. Okay. And if you do not or have not already got your ticket to the Mommy Making Millions Pros and Prosperity Brunch, get your tickets. We are now, 21 days away? We're focusing on your business strategy. We're focusing on your plan to profit. Okay. You should not be struggling as a CEO alone. You should not be dealing with these business struggles or business challenges inside of your business in a silo, which means by yourself. If you don't have a network, that means you're dealing with the challenges that you're facing by yourself. You can't get mad if your best friend don't understand what it is that you're going through. We can't keep saying things like, I don't have the community, but we're too afraid to get ourselves in the room. Identifying and overcoming your business challenges. You have to take audit of where you are and where you're trying to go. And when you're faced with opportunities and when you're faced with challenges, how do you get through this middle part of becoming? How do you get through this hurdles? Do you have the network that's going to support you? Do you have the tools and the resources? Okay. So day 6, James 1:20 verses 2 and 4. If you're just joining us, count all my joys. And when we meet trials of various kinds, know that it is the testing of your faith that produces steadfastness, and the steadfastness have its full effect. Let it have its full effect. Let what you're going through and some of the challenges that you're trying to overcome, allow them to have the full effect so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. Meaning once you went through the process, you've understood the entire process that was required in order for you to get to the level that you are today. You didn't skip the line. You didn't buy a bunch of cheat codes. You went through the process, and that's where the reward is. The goal, the success, that's the reward. You overcame all of this gunk that was in between. Because the journey was meant to stop you. The journey was meant to build your resilience. The journey was meant for you to be distracted. If success was easy, everybody, we just rolling in with dough. We rolling in with successful business. But it wasn't meant to be. It was meant for you to endure, to build character. It was meant for you to focus on overcoming what it feels like to overcome a difficult time. I talked to y'all a lot about when my water was cut off when I was first starting off. I don't talk about that because it was fun. I talk about that so that you can see where the journey started and how the focus was. It's not about where you are, it's about where you're headed. It's about where you're going. That's why if you only focus on where you are, where you're headed is out of your vision, it's out of alignment with the success that you want to see, because you're looking at now when you should be focusing on next. That's why my next is now is so important. I don't just say that so that you can just say, okay, my next is now, is my turn. It's so that you can start already operating with the spirit of expectation that you are already in a season of greatness. You manifest your millions in your mindset before they manifest in your bank account. And then they manifest in your actions. And then they manifest in your results. Faith without works is dead. So a man thinketh, so is he. Trying to get y'all this breakthrough. I'm trying to give it to y'all. See the vision. Write the vision. Make it plain. The goal. Work through that process. Do not think that process is meant for you to be easy. Okay? Be steadfast, resilience, unwavering in your purpose. Are you resilient? Unmovable, loyal, despite the challenges? Are you loyal to the person that you are trying to become? Are you loyal to the success that you want to see? Are you loyal to the journey That's a question. Am I loyal to the journey? Somebody comment that. Am I loyal to my journey? Okay. Persistent. Be persistent. All right. Y'all have a happy Sunday. It is Sunday. Y'all think I was coming on here. We're doing 28 days of business breakthrough. Okay. 28 business strategies that I'm giving y'all. Marquita Deshay. Okay. On top of 28 biblical kingdom principles you can use inside of your business that's going to catapult your now, not next. Okay. Y'all, you ain't got next. You got now, sis. You have now. Okay. If you are not already gotten your tickets to the Mommy Making Millions Pros and Prosperity, I want to see you in the room May 7th. Okay, here in Chicago, May 7th. We are going to have 7 amazing speakers. We're going to have some amazing sponsors that are going to be coming through. We're going to have me giving y'all some additional business strategies. And then guess what? We're going to have some great food and some great vendors for y'all to just really have a good time. This is the week before Mother's Day. Give yourself a treat. Oh, we're going to have raffles, giveaways. It's going to be a good time, okay? We're going to have a good time because you deserve it. Not only do you deserve to be in the room, you deserve to invest in yourself on this level in this season. Okay? Okay? All right. Are you committed to getting your ticket? Have you gotten your ticket? Comment and let me know if you already gotten your ticket. What's stopping you from getting into the room? I know it ain't you traveling. Because we Mommy Making Millions. It's nothing but a flight. Remember that. Remember that when you're trying to think about the success that you want to see. What's stopping me from seeing the success in my life that I want to see? Okay. Was this good, y'all? Was this helpful? I got a whole word. Okay. We're not giving up. We're loyal to our process. We're loyal to who we are becoming. Okay. I will see y'all in the room May 7th at the Pearls of Prosperity Brunch. If you have not, make sure you're clicking the link in my bio or click the link above if you're watching us on Instagram. And make sure you have a seat at the table, Mommy Millionaire. Don't say next time I'll be there. Listen, you don't want to miss this time. Okay. You say next time, that means you're counting yourself out for this time. Okay. We don't operate in the season of procrastination. We operate in the season of excellence. Okay. Excellence. Excellence. All right. Happy Tuesday. Oh, Lord. It ain't even Tuesday, y'all. I'm already ready for Tuesday.